Skorpat had the emergency one-use emergency transmitter beacon. There was no way of knowing if its signal would penetrate the zone and reach its intended destination on Nul. Skorpat has actually received the article as a reward for assisting the ancient civilization on Mars, eons before the use of compounding signal matrix that resulted in unwanted intergalactic attention and the cataclysmic extermination of their entire race. Apart from those who escaped to the third inner planet and had a settlement there, it is another story for another time. Suffice to say that it was not a standard sublight wave transmitter. Its signal was powerful and arced through 120 degrees. It was designed to refract off any obstacle and split into many beams with the same signal whilst maintaining the encrypted transmission. It was for this reason that it actually expended the usually rechargeable solsonite crystal battery that powered it with its 9-minute runtime. Myrana and Skorpat found themselves on a blood-soaked, roughly cut road on a winding series of small knolls. There were the sounds of distant machine gun fire and screaming and anguish. The two students of the Order of the Blade were still unaware of the nature of the contrived hellish zone. And Zeke were not the only Ungils that had decided to spectate on the contrivance, which was intended to punish, then eliminate, the Plains Breacher from the Dark Moon near the Pygsis planet and his willing associate. It was not long before their curiosity was satisfied as to whether the manifestations in the Valley of the Shadow could affect them physically. Ezekiel directed a wave of semi-re-embodied soldiers from the mid and second half of the 20th century on pre-ancient Earth. The wave consisted of every individual instance of blood-curdling banzai charge, bayonet charge, and human wave attack. As the morose, exaggerated, surreally drayed warped beings reached Skorpat, he was already in spiraling motion, easily and without much effort cutting a visible path of severed limbs and demonized flesh and rifles and swords in his wake. Myrana was also defending himself and making progress through the terrifying mass of long-dead, cursed, contrived and reformed unfortunate souls. It was the 73rd instance of an officer leading a desperate final charge with swords, rifles with long bayonets and explosives set on long poles. That being so greatly outnumbered resulted in Myrana being stuck with the blast from one of these weapons. It was not normal pain, but it seemed to mar and scorch Myrana's flesh in an uncomfortable way, the perverse enchantment transforming the affected area to the accursed state the surrounding horde of wailing, surreally disturbing demonified manifestations were created from. It was obvious there was going to be no good end to the situation if help did not arrive soon. There was no way of knowing how long Skorpat and Myrana spent there. Some regions were much more dangerous than others, and different demonized technology was to be found in different places along the roads they walked. The ominous cloud of various toxins was there as a security blanket for the spectating order of temporal protocol in case there was any attempt at escape, or if they got bored that they could just lower it onto them.